It's officially 2025. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying your 2025 so far. Today, I'm back again with another portfolio update video where I will be, of course, covering my total portfolio value as well as all the accounts in my portfolio. And today, we'll also be covering my 2025 investment plan and my overall financial goals, so be sure to stick around for that. Without further ado, the portfolio is currently valued at $200,676.23 on a total all-time gain of about $71,500 or 55%. And if you missed my last video, I ended up finishing 2024 with a yearly gain of over $60,000. I'm still super happy about that, and I'm looking forward to 2025 hopefully being another big year for myself. I have some amazing news finally. As of today, my channel is officially monetized, meaning I will now be earning money off of my YouTube videos, which is kind of crazy. And we also reached 2,500 subscribers here on the channel. And I think for 2025, I'm gonna go big with a goal here of 10,000 subscribers by 2026. So if you have not already, first of all, smash that like button below, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to never miss a video in the future. And I promise at some point I will reveal how much money this channel generates, maybe after the first month, the first 3 months, 6 months, etc. Jumping into the TFSA, it's currently sitting at $64,965.47. And this week it was relatively flat. The account was down about $260 or 0.4%. And if we check out the past month, it is still up about 1.84% on the 1 month. It is up 23% on the 3 month, and on the year, 43.98%. Which again, yeah, we did have a big 2024. Next up, my RRSP, it's at $56,788.03. And just like the TFSA, it was pretty flat on the week, down about $500 or 0.85%. And checking out the past month performance, it's still up 3% on the month. It is up 20.4% on the 3 month. And over the past year, 49.51%. And all-time 71.78%. I'm really happy with that, considering I've only had this account since 2022. And do remember, I will be covering my 2025 investment plan, and this will cover the positions I will be buying in my TFSA, RRSP, and kind of what else I've been doing with my money behind the scenes. My non-registered account is at $19,848.49. Just like the other two accounts, pretty flat on the week, down about $80 or 0.4%. On the month, this account is also pretty flat, down about $30 or 0.1%. The 3 month, it is up 8.79%. And over the past year, it is on a gain of 35%. Now, the non-registered account could be an account that I actually take some money out of in 2025. Just because I will not be depositing so much cash into my accounts as I have in the past, just because I am doing things with my house, which I'll talk about later on in this video. So I may need some funding from this non-registered account to, of course, max out my TFSA and RRSP for the year. So do pay attention that this account may go down in value just simply because I'm going to liquidate the positions in here and reallocate it into a tax leveraged account, aka the TFSA or RRSP. And the crypto account, of course, it's been one of my favorite accounts. It's at $42,941.52. The crypto account was up pretty good on the week here, 7.28% or about $3,000. On the past month, it is down 2.64%, but the 3 month, it is up 76% almost. And over the past year, up 90.11%. And all time, the crypto account is up 225%. Insane to me still. Every time I see that number, I'm kind of in disbelief. And of course, the last account, my high interest cash account, well, it's not so high interest anymore, only at 3.25%, but it's still better than nothing as this is kind of an emergency fund for me. I do also use this account for big purchases when I need to, which I will be using this account shortly for my house for a relatively larger purchase. But anyways, the account is at $16,194.01. Jumping on over to the spreadsheet, of course, it is now a new month, a new year, so we do have a new bar on the charts here, and we saw some pretty nice growth month over month from December 1st to January 1st of 2025, about $5,000 total. And if we jump down to the individual accounts, the TFSA did see a jump from 61.6 to about 64.8K. So a nice jump there. The RRSP, another nice jump. The RRSP has just been on a roll. Anyways, it was at 53,000 on December 1st and started January 1st at 56,000. Of course, the FHSA is closed. The non-registered account was pretty flat month over month. Crypto account, we did see a little bit of downfall here, but that was partially due to me selling about $4,000 worth of Bitcoin in the month of December. So that kind of explains that. And I did take out $3,000, I believe, from this account and put it into my cash account. So that's why we see a jump month over month in the cash account of about $3,000 there. As always, I'm going to give everyone the option to pause and check out any of my individual holdings as I scroll down here. Feel free to pause at any point to see all the holdings. And of course, we'll also show the crypto here. If you have been a viewer of the channel for a little while, this spreadsheet might be familiar to you. This is my 2023 investment plan and also my 2024 investment plan. And I'm going to go through the 2025 one here as well. It isn't going to be as crazy as it has been in the past couple years, as I did buy a house in 2024 and things have gotten a bit more expensive. And I've also been doing some renovations. I've been dumping quite a bit of money into my home to, of course, improve the value of it over time. And so that has led me to not be able to invest as much as I have in the past, but I do still have a plan. I do plan on still maxing the TFSA and getting as much of my RRSP as possible for 2025. And I'll kind of break that down month over month here, starting with January. So in January, these are all just estimates. These values are likely going to change as the year progresses. Like, I do still have cash in my TFSA that I'm going to use up before I do any more deposits. But these are kind of just baseline numbers to get an idea of, like, okay, maybe like in January here, as we can see, I might do about $560 into the account there. And for my RRSP, I still have this at 0. And if we go down the list, down to April here, I do have some like temporary numbers, of course, based on how many weeks are in the month. So as we can see here, April has an extra week. There's 5 Mondays in March. So there is going to be a little bit more money going in there just to support my reoccurring buys. But as you can see down here, I don't really know how much allocation room I'm going to have for my RRSP until about May. So I don't have any money going into the RRSP for the first 4 months of 2025, no matter what. But I do still have about $4,000 sitting in cash in the RRSP, which I will likely use up most of that to start out 2025. But overall, I'll reveal the full chart here. It is pretty straightforward. I've kind of just split up my TFSA as equal as possible throughout the year, and I've also split up the RRSP deposits as equal as possible starting from May onwards. So I have about a total of $15,000 being invested into my registered accounts, and some of this could actually come from my non-registered account. I could sell off some of my positions. It is quite likely I will have to sell off some of my non-registered account to get my TFSA and RRSP maxed for 2025, just because, as I've mentioned, I have been renovating. I've been doing like pretty much a full basement renovation, and I do have some big purchases coming up, and most of my paychecks and side hustles have been funding the basement. But depending on, like, you know, maybe I might start making a decent amount of money from my YouTube videos. This money could be funneled into the investment accounts, and so we don't really know as of right now. I could get an influx of more money throughout the year 2025. So this could change, but for the time being, I will likely take money out from the non-registered account. Now you might be asking, what am I buying in 2025? Well, we're going to go through that. It's quite similar to what I was buying previously in 2024. But there's a couple changes. I had some change of heart with a couple things. So we'll start out with the TFSA. I'll reveal the full thing at once. So I will be buying VFV, QQC, and FBTC, which is a spot Bitcoin ETF. So if you don't know, VFV is just the S&P 500. Last year, instead of VFV, I was buying XEQT, but I've kind of had a change of heart. I kind of want to go more risk. I mean, even though the S&P 500 isn't terribly risky, it is certainly riskier than XEQT. So I had a bit of change of heart. I want to switch back to buying VFE in the TFSA. And of course, in 2024, I was buying QQC in this account throughout the entire year. I will go back to doing that again this year. And lastly, I'm just buying more Bitcoin. I mean, it's as simple as that. I'm very, very bullish on Bitcoin long term, and I think with a new president that is pro Bitcoin, we could see some crazy stuff in the crypto community over the next 4 years. So I'm quite bullish on Bitcoin long term, and I think having some in the TFSA was something I should have done a long time ago, and it's something I'm going to start doing for sure this year, which I already have started doing. So these will be some pretty rough numbers, as I do have some money, some cash left in the TFSA from last year from sales. So roughly I will be putting about $4,500 throughout 2025 into VFE, about $1,200 into QQC throughout the year, and about $1,200 into FBTC throughout 2025, for a total of $7,000. I think I do have like maybe $700 cash in the TFSA, which I'll add on to that. All right, so now what about my RRSP? Well, I do have the first 4 months here blank. This is just because I am not depositing anything, but I do have $4,000 cash in the account, which I will be buying these exact 3 positions for the first 4 months, of course. But I only have on this chart the deposits that I will be doing and what I'll be doing with that balance, if that makes sense. So there will be, of course, money going into VOO, SCHD, and FBTC for the first 4 months. And then starting in May, this is when I will know my new allocation room for the RRSP. So I will be continuing to buy these throughout the rest of the year. But overall, the RRSP is very similar to 2024. Still buying VOO, still buying SCHD, but we're adding some more Bitcoin in there. So with more Bitcoin, it's risky. But again, like I said, I'm very bullish. I will try to aim for about $1,600 worth of Bitcoin in the RRSP for 2025. This could be a little bit more depending on how much I buy for the first 4 months of the year. So I estimate maybe about $2,000 of Bitcoin in the RRSP for 2025, and about $3,000 in SCHD when it's all said and done for the year. And then lastly, maybe about $5,000 into VOO for 2025. And of course, those deposits add up to the $8,000 I'm estimating that I'm going to get into my RRSP for the year. So yeah, that's my overall investment plan for 2025. It's nothing crazy at all. I mean, you might call me crazy for buying Bitcoin, but other than that, about $15,000 invested is my goal for 2025. Like I said, things have been pretty expensive for me lately, and I've kind of been diversifying my money and not putting all of it into the stock market like I've done in the past. So yeah, that's basically it with that. Now, pretty exciting. I did start 2025 with a couple dividends / interest payments. I got a whopping dividend of $110.81 in the TFSA from XEQT. I believe that's the largest single dividend I've ever gotten to date. So that's a pretty fun dividend to receive there. And of course, I did receive a cash interest payment on January 1st worth $44.87. So we're already starting 2025 with a total dividend / interest payment amount of $155.68. It'll be interesting to see if we can beat $2,000 from 2024. That's a wrap on this portfolio update video. I hope you have all enjoyed. Leave me a comment down below. What is your plan for 2025? What are you investing in? Are you maxing your TFSA? Let me know anything. I'm interested to see what y'all say. And yeah, other than that, be sure to subscribe. Let's hit 10,000 subscribers here in 2025. Looking forward to that. Be sure to smash the like button below, hit the bell icon, do all that fun stuff. And yeah, thank you again all for watching, and I will see you next time.